So good morning everyone. My name is Akal Falamajid. I'm the speaker from the opposition team, and let me start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panels, we know that reality of this world we're living now is growing widely. Lots of criminalization, violation, and etc. And in this motion, this house, as the government, will discriminalize the violation, the victimless crime with the structure of first. Victimless crime is some sort of way that the subject used to escape their horrid life, and the second proposition stated that this victim's crime wouldn't get in prison, wouldn't get in criminal records, and treated same as other criminal, and they will have the rehabilitation and others and social welfare. And third one, so the point that proposition stated is about the individualist victim's crime that not affecting the society or affecting other role. And the fourth one, for the actor who's still addicted or etc., will still have the solution of the rehabilitation and social welfare, and for the people that have the impact for the society will still get into the jail. But panels, there's lots of myths from the proposition team where they didn't build the argument relative and realistic to society. First, the source of crime from them is not just for escaping their horrid life, it is to fulfill and find their own witness of character. Example, the drug condition where people wants to be the part of the society or the bad society, where the people usually have their standard to fulfill and try to be cool and others try to be better others, and they consume the drugs, and meanwhile they didn't have the fulfillment of their willing, rather they have the addicted and the bad condition back impact to them. And the second is that there's still tons of unreplaceable reason why the structures of law didn't applicate well. Because firstly, jail is built for people to have their consequences for their violation or for their crime. So why this or every law in this world has their jail or has their consequences way to make the people that make crime want to stop their crime. Not only rehabilitation, jail itself has the way to rehabilitate as the jail's way. And third one, there's still structures where people of victimless crime do other crimes to fulfill their needs. Example, where people are already addicted to drugs, they start to find others way to fulfill their wanted. But in this case, and the proposition said that they are from the poor family and not fulfilled their willing, and by the other willing, the drug addicted, they start to search for other way to fulfill their willing, maybe like from try to steal and others, and that is the part of the criminal. And the fourth one, and they prevent us from saying that the society is conservative, but this is irrelevant and unrealistic. Meanwhile, they try to be the most relevant and acceptable by delivering their argument. Also, people that are not said to be victims of crime are always have their contact with victim. So this is where the proposition has already not say from all of the things that try to say by this motion, and they are not relevant enough, they are not realistic enough, and they didn't get their point well done. So moving on to my team's argument, where we gave you more relevant reason. First, why don't we just adjust the government law that are not fulfilling the society safety or needs that can cause into criminals? This is same as the example of you didn't close your door, so the wildcat go into your house. Why don't you just shut your door and the wildcats didn't rather go into your house anymore, rather than you try to feed the cats and make the cats didn't go back to your home anymore. So firstly, we can have this structure to allocate in this law. Firstly, we can allocate more in social wellness and allocate more in job field and opportunity, so that the people that are already in the part of the poor family or poor condition can get their own way, their own initiative way to make their condition more better. And the third one is effective the policeman from the government side. They said that if we don't use the policeman way to try to prevent this by rehabilitation or others, it can make the role of this criminals can get more social welfare. But this is the part where this is misunderstood. The policemen have their job to make the criminals, have their consequences, as I've said before. That's why there are prison and jail. And so it means that the professional team are more likely to assume that the fail of the government and just accept it rather than try to prevent it. And as note everyone, we don't know enough yet about the effective impact from the structure that representative, from the structure that they say they have the rehabilitation and others. We don't have the enough knowledge that we can assume by this if this way really works well donely. And they fail to limit the place and condition. As we know, different place, different condition, and different argument that we should bring. And they, as the first speaker from the proposition, yet to limit the place and the condition, because in example, in America and Indonesia, it's a very different type and very different condition of country. And we know that if the difference are big, they also have the chance to limit it and to make the arguments more relevantly in some sort of place. And the second argument from my team is they said that rehabilitation is more effective. But if we try to be more realistic, where in this debate they failed to do that, we can calculate how massive the structure and the material needs to build or even allocate the jail to rehabilitation site. As we know that if they say that we can allocate the jail to rehabilitation so the victims will have the social welfare, if we try to allocate the jail role where it's already been applied in this country or any country, we're assuming as the opposition team that they need more time, they need more material just to do the rehabilitation more effectively, and it's not helping because the jail itself has its own way to make the criminals be more better. That's why they have the jail, even though they're surrounding by the same kind of people. By getting there into the jail, all of the people in the jail is having their consequences. So everybody should know that in the jail they are not getting some groups or criminals. They doing their consequences. And in the conclusion, we as an opposition team rather to prevent than try to grab all of the mess that happened. So proud to oppose.